on the mental state or on emotional condition. This is inherited from the past. See, this is very closer to homeopathic understanding. What Dr. Hahnemann said is, disease never exists on the physical plane. So the root of the disease, the root of the suffering is on the deeper layers, on the mind and on the level of intelligence. We only know about our physical body because it is perceptible. What is perceptible is only our physical body, because it is on the material plane. That is true. But the physical body, how the physical body is constituted, it is constituted according to the vital body, which is on the vital plane. How can you explain the relationship of the vital body and physical body in understandable terms? Take the example of the cloth. So the cloth is, what you call the cloth is only a shape. And this shape is manifested because of the arrangement of the threads. What you call cloth is not some different substance, it is only the threads which are arranged in a particular pattern. So, the various qualities of the cloth, either the color or the shape or all these things, depend upon how the threads are arranged. So, in this example, you can correlate our physical body with the cloth and the arrangement of the threads as the vital body. Now it should be clear. So the vital force of the vital body is constituted by the lines of forces like the threads. So an arrangement of the lines of forces is responsible for the manifestation of what we call the physical body. This we have to always remember. And these lines of forces which constitute the vital body, they are arranged according to a plan, not just like that. They have a plan, and this plan is on the mental plane. Suppose there is an architect like our Christoph. So when Christoph wants to make a building, he cannot just bring the bricks and all these things and put together like this. It's not possible. He should have a plan in his mind. When he looks at the vacant land, so he looks at the vacant land, immediately in his mind, he has the structure in his mind. But it is on mental plane. The structure is on the mind. He can see the structure in the mental plane. But I am not an architect. I will only see, oh, this is only vacant land. So he has this on the mental level, a structure as a plan. So the architect makes a plan. According to this plan, the mason works out, bringing the matter to make the building, then it is perfect. So the plan always lies on the mental level, on the mind, level of mind. Similarly, the arrangement and the pattern of the vital body is on the mental plane as a plan. So suppose if the architect is confused person, then his plan is not proper. If you cannot make a proper plan, then what you build is not proper. So you cannot have a proper building. So then it will be weak. In the same manner, if there is a distortion on the mental level, this distorts the arrangement of the lines of forces which constitute your vital body. Then subsequently the result is a distortion on the physical body. Because the physical body is only a manifestation of the shape and all these things according to how it is arranged on the vital body. Another example, you take a candle, a candle made from wax. So it is only paraffin wax, and where paraffin wax is boiled and it becomes a liquid, then you put this paraffin wax into a mold. And this, when it is put in the mold as a liquid, after some time it gets into a solid and it forms exactly according to the mold. Then you open this, you have the candle. So the shape of the candle is according to the mold. Every part of the design of the candle is according to the mold of the shape of the mold design. So whatever design you want for the candle, you have to make it in the mold, not on the candle. Because if you want to make it on the candle, it will melt away. So the mold. This is another example for you to understand the relationship between physical body and vital body. So vital body is like a mold, and physical body is formed exactly according to the mold. So if there is any distortion on the physical body, this means there is already this distortion is there on the vital body. This you must be very clear in the mind. So therefore, if there is any distortion in the physical body, if you want to deal with the distortion directly, what can you do? You must know that distortion is on the vital body and how to reverse this distortion. That is there on the mental plane. So you have to go to the mental plane, rectify there, then the distortion on the vital plane is rectified, then automatically on the physical plane it is normal. This is very, very clearly explained by Dr. Hahnemann in homeopathy science. So, mental state or to an emotional condition which can produce serious illness is the inherited from the past. So the serious illness, the serious sickness is produced because of the distortion and the emotion. We have to also know very clearly about emotion. What is emotion? Many people think that we should have emotion and we should keep our emotion. Yes, it is true, okay. But what is it exactly? What is this emotion? Whether to have emotion or not. Yeah, you can have emotion, but it should be very, very clearly and properly maintained. Because emotion is like a disturbance. For example, there is a lake. The lake, when there is no movement, then what you see in the lake is exactly the reflection, clear reflection of the sky. Whatever is there in the sky reflects very clearly in the lake when there is no movement of the water. Then you won't see the water, you only see the sky. Suppose there is full moon, the moon very clearly is there. So in the lake you see the moon very clearly. Suppose you entered into the water of the lake and you made so many movements and disturbed it, and all the mud which is there settled down, all this mud is again, it came and merged with water, mixed with water. Now this water is mixed with the mud, and all this, there is movement, the ripples and waves. Then the same reflection of the moon will be like small pieces, no more. The moon appears to have broken into pieces, and all reflection is distorted. So the water without any disturbance, which could reflect perfectly, is like a clear mind without emotional disturbance. And the mud and all these disturbances which cause the distortion of the reflection is it is just like the emotion. Emotion is like the mud. You have to make the emotion settle down without movement, then your mind is perfect, pure, clear, and balanced. If you allow the emotion to rouse, then it disrupts the mind, and your mind is conditioned very much. So then there will be a disturbance from one side to other side. Desire and hatred, like, dislike, all these things. Opposite things your mind will be like a pendulum between two ends. It cannot be at equilibrium. All this is because of this emotional disturbance. So emotion, unfortunately, we wrongly understand emotion as love. Love is not emotion at all. Affection, love and affection are on the higher plane, and emotion is on the lower plane. Is lower mental plane. Because the experience of love and affection has no disturbance. You feel very, very balanced, and also it is free from these pairs of opposites. But when there is emotion, then all these things. So even with your relationships between parents and children, or between the couple, whatever it may be, if this relationship is based on the emotion, then there is always a change. Sometimes they say, oh, we are very happy, and after a short time then they are completely gone down, depressed, and struggle and all these things. So there is a lot of hell of a difference between affection and emotion. Love and affection is on higher, Emotion is on lower. This we have to remember always. If you dwell on emotions, then there will be disturbance always. Because the emotions in us, they are governed by our the center, the solar plexus center, Manipuraka, at the seat of emotions. At the solar plexus. Whereas the seat of love and affection is our heart center, higher. So here it is explained here, what is explained here is individual disease due to interior conditions in a man's own equipment to his mental state or to an emotional condition which can produce serious ills. This is inherited from the past. So these disturbances are inherited from the past. What is this past? This inheritance is from the past previous lives, from the connections from the previous lives. That is very well explained by Dr. Hahnemann in the homeopathic science. These disturbing factors, which he named as miasms, they are inherited from one generation to other generation, unfailingly. You cannot avoid this inheritance. This he has very logically proved also. And then another point that is given here is about the psychological causes. Disease inherent in humanity as a whole is another thing. First thing is at the individual level, but this point is on the level of the whole of humanity. Because you see now so much of disorder, disharmony and disturbance, what we are able to see on the level of human beings, the whole humanity. Why there is war, why there is destruction, all these things. That is a disease at that level. So it is a disease, disease inherent in humanity as a whole. There are certain diseases to which all men are prone. Men means human beings. The germs of these diseases are latent in the physical vehicles of the majority of men, only awaiting predisposing conditions in order to manifest. This is very clearly to be understood. Generally what we understand is the cause of a disease is these microorganisms. That is what is generally understood in the modern medicine. That is what is called bacteria and virus. The microorganisms are understood normally as the causes of spreading the disease. But this is also is very clearly explained by Hahnemann and his followers. Kent also has explained, and the latest is Master E.K. who explained also this, about this. Generally for the normal understanding, we attribute the diseases, cause of a disease, to the microorganisms. which we call bacteria and virus. Bacteria.
Bacteria and virus.
So normally it is understood that these microorganisms enter into human organization, human constitution, and then the diseases are caused. But Hahnemann and Kent, they have explained with precise examples that the microorganisms appear a few days later that the person is attacked by a disease. By investigation they have proved this. For example, malaria. The disease which is called malaria is attributed due to Plasmodium parasite or Vivex parasite. There are two types of parasites. Two types of malaria is identified. One is Plasmodium parasite and another is Vivex parasite. Okay, but when a person got fever with the particular symptoms which appear in malaria, immediately if you make investigation of the blood, you won't find these parasites. Only after 2 or 3 days of fever, when the fever goes high, then you make investigation, then you may find either of these parasite. So now, is it the disease that is existing before or is the parasite existing before?
This is an animal.
Yes, it is the carrier. The carrier is the mosquito, that is the carrier. You see, that is also how nature makes all the check. Because it is only one particular type of mosquito, Anopheles mosquito. Anopheles mosquito and that too only female Anopheles mosquito.
Yeah.
That is the carrier. But when you make an investigation, the person got fever already few days before this is identified in the blood. So this virus, these parasites are seen only after the person got the fever and the condition. Same thing when you also observe in typhoid. You can find the particular bacteria, Staphylococcus, only after 5 days when the person got fever. Before that you cannot find any of these in the blood. Yes, it's clear, very clear. So after the person got this, suffered from 4 or 5 days, at least 4 or 5 days, after that only you can find this particular type of bacteria. So this is also evident that the sickness is before the bacteria is existing. So this is very clear that this is not the cause of the disease. If it should be the cause, it should be there before. But no.
Always about it. For example, focus can be, in the test they can see it only in a few days after you already got it.
Yes. Same thing. So therefore, what is very well explained by Hahnemann and Kent and this doctors by investigation is, they are not responsible for the disease. They have different purpose. When the person got this disease condition, then there is the toxic condition manifested in the blood of the person, in the tissues. And due to this condition, there is accumulation of toxic matter in the body, and this toxic matter in the body blocks the organs to work. And to prevent this, the body needs certain other organisms which can clear this toxic matter. And therefore, these parasites are attracted, because this toxic matter which is formed in our body is a good food for them. And these microorganisms are attracted because they have a very good food here. So they are necessary to eat this away. So they have a good food, they have a good condition to live here. So they make their tents, temporary houses here. They have the food, they have their family, they multiply. They go on producing their children because they have plenty of food. When you have plenty of food and good conditions to live, you can have many children, that is no problem. So the microorganisms can multiply very fast. Millions, because they have plenty of food. They have good conditions to live in here. So as long as the toxic substances are produced, they will live there. So if you try to destroy these fellows who are there to work as scavengers to clear this out, what are you doing? They will disappear naturally only when you change the condition so that no more toxicity is there in the body. If the toxic condition is neutralized and no more toxic substance is produced, then they will disappear. They have no food, they will disappear from there. They will take out the tents and go to the other place where they have their food. You need not make any special effort to kill them, to destroy them, all these things. Yes.
Humans go to these places where they think.
Yes. The migration. The migration is.
So this is malaria, predatory malaria.
Yeah. So those factors which make your constitution make your constitution into such condition which produces toxic substances. So those factors are inner, there in the inside you, not outside. Because they are inside you and producing such conditions, They make the constitution to produce this